Hello everyone, my name is Havian, and today I'm going to be playing some more Sword Art Online RE Hollow Fragment. This time, like I said last time, I'm going to be going over the implements, showing you how you can do a few of them and explaining what they actually are. Because a few people have actually been wondering, even after I made a previous video. I didn't really explain it too well in the previous video because I just unlocked them. But that was, when I say previous video, I'm talking about the back in the Vita videos. I made a video about implements, but I didn't really go over them too well because I just unlocked them and I was kind of just trying to figure out the game myself at that point. But since I've already done the majority of implements, I can at least give you some hints or something helpful that might help you out. I'm not going to go over every single one of them. I'm going to go over the ones that people may struggle with or may want to find an easier way to do them because they can be really time consuming. So I'll show you a few quick methods. I'll show you a few methods that some of the guys on the live stream actually showed me as well, which are pretty interesting. But I'm gonna go ahead and show you which mission I actually do a vast majority of my implements in. So let me show you. So for the majority of my missions, I do them in the Black Winged Assailants because it is a rank 2 hollow mission and it is fairly easy. And some of the enemies that are around there are gonna be really good for doing some of your implements on. I'm not going to actually go into there just yet. What I'm going to do is explain. I'm going to go over the list of implements and just show you what they actually do. So for those of you that are wondering, or for those of you that have been wondering, because I've seen a few comments saying, man, I still don't understand these implements. I don't know what they are. Implements are pretty much ways for you to add extra elements to the game. They are, I guess you could say, challenges, or I guess you could say quests or tasks that you need to complete, and it will unlock extra things throughout the game. So you've got ones that focus, or the sample one is these are just pretty much tutorials, but they test pretty much every aspect of the combat system, and they make you go through certain trials and try to help you to understand what each of the implements will do. And once you've understood what those implements do, it will unlock them and allow you to use a skill that focuses on that implement in the game, I guess you could say. So it's best I show you rather than just talking about it. So you've got one that's called Burst Attack implement. This is one of the first ones you can unlock really easily. You just spam your burst attacks. And once you've completed the basic tree, you can open it up and you'll find more skills within. And once you've completed one of these skills, you will unlock it. To unlock it, it will cost hollow points. So you need to actually complete missions or hollow missions to get hollow points, so you can actually spend your hollow points on unlocking these skills or unlocking these pieces of equipment. So generally, when you actually do them, you won't unlock it. You won't unlock the equipment straight away. It will unlock the ability to obtain it. So you've got Costly Power Ring here, for instance. Once I've completed this implement, it will unlock it on the boss that will drop it. So you'll still have to go and kill the boss that actually drop the item. And the enemy for this piece of equipment is the Infernal Sword. For sword skills, I believe you unlock them, and then you have to buy them with skill points. I don't remember. There is one way of checking actually. Let me see if I can equip a greatsword, because I did unlock a skill earlier. So let's see if it's unlocked from the beginning or if you have to actually unlock it yourself. Where are my greatswords? Let me equip it. Let me see if it's fully unlocked already or if it's a skill that I still need to buy. That is a very plain looking sword. Where is it? Sweet Revenge. Yeah, so you still need to actually purchase it. So even though you've unlocked it and added it, even though I've unlocked it and added it to the game, I still need to actually go and buy it. Man, that sword. But yeah, implements are pretty much just trials that you need to complete to actually unlock certain things for the game itself. But there are loads of things you can unlock from this. The main thing, or the first implement I'd say people go for, are the original sword skill system. It unlocks the combo system in the game that lets you link sword skills together to create like a long combo chain that does a lot of damage. And it's pretty much what the game is going to push you towards when it comes to taking on some of the harder bosses. You're going to want to have some sort of a sword skill or some sort of an OSS going on if you want to deal loads of damage. And if you want to keep an enemy like stun locked, because generally when you're in the middle of an OSS chain, the enemy is just staggering constantly. So it's a good thing to have. But I would recommend completing this. Try and complete all of them and try and complete the skill cooldown reduction as well, or recast reduction. I'm on the second stage of it that will reduce my recast by 20%. I need to complete all of these and you're going to benefit from them. You're going to benefit from them a lot. So I'd recommend actually getting them out of the way. But let me actually go through all of them and then try and explain ways you can do a few of them easily. And if any of you have easy ways to do some of the ones that I haven't mentioned, then I suggest just throwing it in the comment for anyone else that will need help. Or if you do need a bit of extra help for ones that I haven't covered or for ones that people haven't commented on, I'd say check through the comments first before you ask a question. Check through it first, make sure no one else has already answered it. And then just say which one you need a bit of help on, and I'm pretty sure anyone will be able to help you out, or I'll be able to help you out. I do read everything. But burst attacks, this is pretty much just using burst attacks constantly, and for this one, if you push X on them, it'll tell you what you actually need to do to complete the objective. Some of them will have certain restrictions placed on you, and some of them will have extra bonuses placed on you, and some of them will even equip the item you actually need. Or some of them will actually equip the item that you'll get as reward for completing it. So you'll get some of them that have extra weapons, and they'll equip the weapon on you, and they'll say, okay, now we've given you this weapon, go and complete this implement. So it kind of gives you a feel of what the weapon's going to be like, so you'll know exactly what you're getting yourself into when you go and unlock it. Okay, so let's see, burst attack. This is just a basic one. Perform specified number of burst attacks. So you need to do 40 burst attacks while you're in a mission, a hollow rank mission of rank 1 or higher. So the hollow rank mission I usually do is rank 2, so you're gonna have to find other hollow missions for doing some of the higher level ones, but I just generally do this one because it's really quick to get to, and it's a slightly higher rank, and there's enemies of low level and slightly higher level in the same area, so it's a good place to start. Second one, exact attacks. I don't know why they changed the name to exact attacks. It used to be just attacks. I'm not entirely sure why they changed the wording of it when just attack has been used in other games that are already in English, so I'm not too sure why they changed the translation. But exact attacks are triggered when you time your attacks right. Like when you're using the burst attacks and you see a green circle appear around Kirito, once the green circle gets towards the center of him, it's time to push the button, push circle again, or push whatever you got burst attack again, and you'll do an exact attack. So you have to time your attacks with whenever Kirito actually lands his swords or lands his attack on the enemy, and you'll do bonus damage. So if you continuously do that, you'll get extra exact attacks on the enemy. And you need to actually do that to actually complete this one. Original sword skills I already went over, but for this it just says that you need to perform a specified number of sword skills. There is a little trick to doing these. Oh boy, there's a really cheesy trick to doing it. So rather than actually doing sword skills, you can use exact onslaught. So you can use this skill. Because it still triggers even when it's on a cooldown, you can spam this and it will actually count towards your implement. So you don't need to use sword skills that are on the cooldown, you can just spam this. And you can spam it even while it's on cooldown. And the way you do that is if you just hold down, so this is the one that people on my stream showed me. I used to do it directly from having the exact onslaught skill on my skill palette, but it showed me a quicker way to do it by just getting into battle skills and just doing it from there. So if you're in a battle skills, you hold down L, and then you push R and you push triangle, and you alternate R and triangle. So you just continuously alternate like triangle and R, triangle and R. It's not gonna work while I'm inside of my palette setup menu, not inside of a mission. But when you're outside of a mission, if you just alternate, if you hold down L and then tap R and triangle, continuously alternate between the two of them, you'll spam the skill like crazy, and you can get through all 800 of them for the implement one pretty quick. For which one is it? You can get through 800 of them for this one really fast. So you got to do 8, 1000, 1000, 1050. You got to... No, it's just 1000. What am I talking about? This one isn't part of it. Yeah, you got to do 1000 sword skills in total. Then I think for this one, you got to start moving on to actually doing 2-hit combos. And then for this one, you have to do another 2-hit combo. Then it starts getting more difficult. You have to do 3-hit combos, then 4-hit combos. And when I say 4-hit combos or 3-hit combos or 5-hit combos, I mean doing one sword skill chained into another. And the window for actually chaining your attacks is pretty small. So you have to actually make sure you get the timing right. And then we got this one here, exact step away from enemies, exact step away from a number of enemy skills. The easy way to do this is to equip a sword and shield, or equip a dagger shield, rapier and shield, whatever you want. I equip a dagger and a shield. And you want to go into the same mission that I've been saying going into. This mission here, Black Winds Assailants. You're going to want to aggro a few bees, and then you're going to want to backstep away from the bees when they're doing their special move. I can't remember what it's called, it's like a stinging move. And for some reason, it registers every single one of those hits in the backstep. So they'll do their move and it hits about 4 or 5 times, but it'll register every single one of those hits within the backstep. So it makes it seem like he backstepped about 4 or 5 times in one go. And the reason you want to grab a few bees is because sometimes the bees do the same move at once, and you'll register all of the bees attacks in one go. So there, I've got up to like probably like 8 or 9 hits in one go, or what, from one backstep, and it makes the backstep things just go a lot quicker, because no one's gonna want to try and time their backsteps for hits all the time. It's just nonsense, and it can just take a long time. So do that and you'll make things go a little bit smoother. So what is the technical stab system? What does it specialize in? Yeah, this is exact step, but what does it open up to? More exact step stuff. These are just some other stuff you can actually unlock within it. Activate rare critical effect for a set number of times. But a lot of these are going to be self-explanatory. I'm not going to need to go over these ones because you'll be able to know them from just going in there and trying it yourself. So you'll be able to know a lot of them. If it says activate a number of sword skills, then it's pretty much just do a number of sword skills. So I already showed you how you can do the registered sword skills really quick by just spamming exact onslaught. So you can do those. Risk reduction methods. So you're gonna have, for this one, you have to defeat a set number of level 80 plus enemies with risk 1 or less. So you need to have under 1 risk or 1 risk maximum, and you need to defeat an enemy like that. The way I done this is I'm trying to remember, I think I had Philia with me, and I got her to do all the damage. And then I think I finished the enemy off with something, I can't remember. I think it was just normal attacks. I think I just done normal attacks and it killed them off. If you use a sword skill, it bumps your risk up, so I think I just used normal attacks to kill some really weak enemies. I think. Don't quote me on that one, it was a while ago. Then we got sacrificing for powerful effects. With this tree, or for these implements, you're going to be sacrificing some sort of status or some sort of bonus you have to get more power for something else. So we've got this one here, where you're restricted, you have bleed, but your attack is increased by 50. And then for this one, you have a bleed effect on your character, but your attack is increased and you have HP absorb. And these are going to be some of the bonuses that you actually get on the weapon themselves once you've completed the implement. So what they do is they'll put the restriction on you. You have to complete the challenge with the restriction on place. And then once you've completed the challenge, then you can go and unlock the weapon. So you already know what you're getting yourself into when you've actually unlocked it fully. And then we've got some other ones. But all of these are going to have some sort of restriction on them, and then they're going to give you some sort of bonus for actually using it on the flip side. So you're going to lose something to gain something. That's going to be everything that's in the sacrifice for powerful effects. Then we've got attack speed and count. This one seems to focus more on your attack speed and the amount of hits you actually connect with each auto attack. So you've got this one that increases the amount of hits you do with each auto attack. Then we've got this one, which is a weapon which adds extra auto attacks. So it's pretty much going to be like sort of the same thing within this tree. But they're all going to have slightly different requirements for actually completing them. All you need to do is actually just view the objective and you'll know what you need to do to actually finish it. And then we've got field test, advantage attack differences, for advantageous attack speed differences. So we've got this one for Brave Delay. This is the one I'm doing at the moment. I'll actually go into the field and show you how I do this one myself, just so you get an understanding. But for this one, you actually need to defeat a set number of enemies while the enemy has risk 5. That is pretty simple to do, but I'll show you it. But it's not very simple at first glance, because you're going to be thinking, how do I actually force the enemy into risk 5? But I'll show you exactly how you can do that. But once you've completed this is just an example of what happens. You can unlock this skill called Brave Delay that forces the enemy into risk 5. So they're giving you a kind of idea of what you're going to need to be doing before you unlock the skill. I know I've said that multiple times, but it's just to drive the message home. This is to drive that message home. So Brave Delay, I need to experience getting risk 5 on an enemy, and then they'll give me a skill that will force risk 5 onto an enemy. Then you got a few other things that are going to mess with speed difference and all that kind of stuff. So test out burst attacks on enemies with Sonic Boom Ring, but the Sonic Boom Ring will give burst gauge recovery up, increase attacks, longer skill lock. Let's see. And then we've got uncapped weapon damage values. So this will unlock some extra equipment for the 82nd floor. And then you'll unlock some extra skills that increase, what does this one increase? increases your damage based on your HP. And then we've got favoring attack over defense. So I guess this sacrifices your defense to increase your attack. So it ignores your defense, or it ignores the enemy's defense. Wait, what does it do? Oh, it's an axe. Okay, I'm looking at the skill list. So it ignores the enemy's defense and it decreases your defense to 0. So you're going to be dealing loads of damage to the enemy, but your damage is going to go down. And I believe when you're actually doing the implement with this weapon actually turned on, or when you've got this implement turned on, they'll give you that weapon to actually test it out during the implement. So you can see if it's going to be something you would actually want to get for yourself. And then enhancing defense effects. So you got all sorts of things you can unlock in there. You got armor, you got shields, and they're all going to be focused more on your defense. So this is defense plus 20%, damage reduction plus 10%, accuracy, but accuracy minus 20. So that's going to be a restriction you have on place while you're doing this implement. But then you'll have access to some of the other bits of equipment that focus more on your defensive side. And then we've got this here, risk focus equipment. So quick step from a set number of attacks with risk under 1. These ones are not too bad. It's gonna be pretty much the same thing I showed you before, where you're gonna have to be stepping away from enemies and sidestepping and that kind of stuff when while you have low risk. But that's something I've already explained to you. And you got all of these different bits of equipment that focus more on risk. So you can see that each section are gonna have equipment or skills that focus on that one particular like parameter, I guess you could say. This one's gonna be focused more on SP. So you've got Imperial Jade Magatama. So this one absorbs SP from enemies, but it reduces your burst gauge recovery. And then you'll unlock some extra things that you can buy from the shops on the 84th floor that focus more on your SP. And then you unlock some sword skills that focus on SP, which is going to be Katana Skill. The reason it was a Katana Skill is because in the Vita version, Katana was the SP reduction weapon, I guess you could say. A lot of their sword skills had a really low SP cost, but now that they've switched it in the PS4 version, it doesn't make as much sense. But you do get SP recovery with this sword skill. I don't know if it's not really much of a benefit. It's not really much of a benefit anymore, but it used to be alright in the Vita version. Or having katana focused things was alright in the Vita version. And you got this skill that... what does it do? It lowers your burst gauge and it gives you SP regen. And then attack oriented usage of SP. So you got Dark Flare. This one was a very good skill in the Vita version. I'm not too sure how it's going to work in this one, but it would give you a bleed, but it will give you extra 300 SP. So it would increase your SP by a huge amount, but at the same time, you would have a bleed constantly ticking on your HP. But there was a way to, if you had enough HP regen, you could offset that so it didn't really tick too much, because the regen would offset the amount of bleed you had. And then we go into unlocking some weapons. So you get max SP is reduced by 300, but you get an 80% boost in attack for this katana. And then you got a few other katanas that you can actually unlock. And then we got techniques to gain protection. You got Vigor Potion. I believe the Vigor Potion increases your maximum HP. Then we've got Shiny Hollow, which gives you like 12 different shields and stuff. So these are going to be all things that focus more on avoiding damage or avoiding status effects and that kind of thing. I remember I've done a few of these earlier. I've done this side. This side is more focused on the status effect side. I unlocked this bit of equipment, where you have to get poisoned by level 120 plus enemies a set number of times. I've done that in the exact same area I'm going to show you, I've been talking about before, but all I've done was increase the level of the area. So I put it to hard mode and I stood there and I got poisoned by the snakes that are in the area. Because if you have it around your level, there's a good chance the snake's attacks won't poison you. So you need to have them at a higher level so the poison always hits. And then... where are we? We're close to the bottom. Evening odds against powerful enemies. So this one focuses more on inflicting status effects on enemies. Some of these ones are going to have status effects that you need to inflict, but all you'll need to do is go and take a look at your sword skills for the different weapon types, because different weapon types or different sword skills will inflict status effects on the enemies. Or you can buy some skills that actually do that as well if you want to, if you really want to. But I'd recommend just using sword skills in the enemies that actually inflict the status effects. I believe one of the one-handed sword skills does inflict darkness. I think was it Slant? I can't remember. I think the old name on the Vita version was Slant, I think. but I don't know if they changed the name of it in this one. But there was one of the one-handed sword skills that did inflict blind, so I guess you could use that one. But you got a few of the other weapons that focus more on debuffing your targets and actually unlocking some spears and some other things. But some of these spears look really nice. I didn't even unlock any of, like, I didn't actually get any of these on the Vita version. Actually, no, I got the katana on the Vita version. That's the only one of the rare weapons that I actually got on the Vita version, or the ones that you get from implements. I got the katana one. It was actually pretty nice. So I want to actually get all of them in this one. I want to get all of the good stuff. All right, enhancement of evasive actions. I've done this one. I unlocked the greatsword skill, but this tree seems to focus more on your evasion. So you've got Crimson Armor that increases your evasion by a bit, and if you dodge, you gain SP, or you gain SP each time you evade an attack. Then you got this one that focuses more on countering the attacks. Then you got evade skills with exact backsteps a set number of time, and this will give you greaves that focus on your evasion. So you can see what I mean, where it just, each topic or each parameter gives you a bit of gear you can focus on. So if you're building a character that focuses on evasion, I guess you could dig into here and find some things that will benefit you. If you're going to be focused more on defense, I guess you could go into the defensive implements and get some stuff from there. Then we got one that focuses on buffs. Effect assessment, effect booster. So this one seems to focus on actually gaining hate from the enemy. So you're going to learn this. So this skill will actually drain SP while granting longer skill effect times. This one wants you to actually use taunting skills in the enemy. And then, I don't know, this one doesn't even relate to the thing it's giving you. But hey, you can get some hate, and then you'll be able to get a skill that increases the amount of skill effect time you actually have. But it drains your SP while doing it. I guess this one it's not really that useful, because you can go into multiplayer. It's only useful for single player, but if you're going to multiplayer, you can actually use one of the I think it's the buffer trait that actually gives you longer skill effect time. So I don't know. I can't actually see this skill being useful at all. But you're gonna have to complete this skill to actually move on to the ones below, because these are all trees. You're gonna have to move down one stage at a time if you want to get to the good stuff at the bottom. So you got Demon Blade Gram. So what do you need to do for that? Inflict a set number of critical hits on level 140 foes. So this sword, they'll actually give you the sword to actually use, but the sword has a plus 20% chance to critical hit. So you just need to go ahead and just, like, I guess you can just go ahead and critical hit level 140 enemies. Just keep attacking until you critical hit 1,000 times. But yeah, those are the implements. Those are the ones that you can actually do. There's some that I didn't go over, but a lot of them are self-explanatory. But I did show the ones that would need a little bit, or I did show a few of the methods that you would need to do things a little bit easier. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the risk one. I'm going to show you it myself and show you how you can actually force the enemy into risk 5. So you can do this a lot easier. So the mission is over here. It's a really quick place to get to because it's right on the teleport point. And the enemies you actually need to run past do not aggro. So that's the good thing. Well, the first set of enemies that you run past don't need aggro. So these bees, they won't bother you. They will link if you pull one, but they won't bother you. So these are the bees that you'll use to actually sidestep and backstep away from. And they register a few hits on the backstep. But you just want to go into the ring here. You're going to trigger the hollow mission. And you just want to ignore the bosses unless you need to do one of the hollow missions where you need to kill the bosses. Just ignore them. Just kill the normal enemies. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this guy here. And to get it into risk 5, you need to parry. So you actually need to parry to get to risk 5. What I need to do is actually equip. What am I doing? Why do I have daggers? Let me equip my dual blades. Still, I don't even know why I had those weapons on. Alright, here we go. Whoops, I killed it. Oh boy, alright, let me pull something else. Now that I'm actually equipped. Let me grab this guy here. So you have to parry it. Alright, he's into risk 5, and then you have to kill it while he's in risk 5. And then it will add 1 to my skill. Or 1 to the implement. There we go, 11 out of 50. And let me do that again. But parry seems to recharge really, really quick when you actually do it successfully. But these guys are pretty easy to do it on. Alright, parry. Into risk 5 and then kill it. So about 50. Parry should be recharged already. yeah, so it's pretty much just going through them, just forcing them to risk 5 and then parrying for that one in particular. But the reason I'm showing you this and the reason I'm telling you this is because Brave Delay is a damn good skill. When the enemy's in risk 5, you can do a lot of damage to them. So I'd recommend picking it up for I recommend anyone picking that one up and doing that one and getting it out of the way. I'll say it's something that you could do after you've done the OSS, because the OSS one is the most important one. Then after that, so I guess you can grab Brave Delay. But when you do Brave Delay, the enemy does get stunned for a while as well, so it does make them a little bit vulnerable. But I believe it does force your risk into 5 as well. Don't quote me on that, but I think it does. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it does. Let me see if I can find Brave Delay on this list here somewhere. Actually, I don't even know. I don't think it will show on this list until you actually unlock it. But yeah, Brave Delay, that's one to get. I hope that made sense. I was probably all over the place with the implement stuff. But there you go. That is what implements are, and I'm pretty sure you will be able to find some easy ways to do the other ones. I'm pretty sure you'll be able to share some of your other ways in the comments, or at least I hope you can share some of your other ways in the comments for other people to help other people out. Because I'm pretty sure I'll be done with the implements I want pretty soon. So I'm just trying to burn through a lot of stuff right now, just so I can get to the end game, so I can start doing some good multiplayer. So I can start doing some good multiplayer, and so I can start picking the weapons I want and start doing some endgame stuff. Still need to finish the floors, but I'm getting through there. And you can already see that I haven't bought anything yet still. I haven't bought anything yet. I'm still struggling along. I did unlock Nebula Raid Empress. I didn't unlock that. But my god, this skill is on a 3-minute cooldown for all of you guys that want to know. This skill is on a 3-minute cooldown. So for those of you that are thinking, man, I'm gonna be doing my my OSS chains in no time, think again. There are ways that you can reduce time with skills and through doing the implements, but man, 3 minutes. Just think back, for anyone that hasn't played the Vita version, you could use Nebula Raid as long as you had enough SP for it. You could use any of the arcane skills as long as you had enough SP to use it. But now you've got a 3-minute cooldown. People got to start planning ahead. Alright then. So if you want to show this video to anyone that is going to be having trouble with the implements or is having trouble with the implements, I suggest you just send it to them. And if you are not following already or subscribed, then I suggest you do. And if you want to take part in some multiplayer every now and then, or if you just want to join the community and have some fun, then I suggest you follow me over on Twitch, twitch.tv/Havian, or follow me on Twitter so you know when I'm actually going live, or Facebook as well. But until I make my next video, I'll see you all later.